My name is Jere James. I'm the owner of Inez Patricia School of Dance. Watch me boss.
With the ladies on top, we're breaking boundaries, making moves, no time for insecurity, no time. We're chasing dreams, creating legacies. Boss Ladies Podcast, where we speak our truth. Yeah. Boss Ladies unite, we're reaching for the sky. Empowered and strong, we'll never be denied. From the boardroom to the stage, we're making history. Boss Ladies Podcast, it's our time to shine. Come and join the ride.
Welcome back to the Boss Ladies Podcast. Listen. I'm so excited for today's guest because what she's doing, has been doing, I've been wanting to do for years. I have Jere James, over 20 years dancing. I had to get notes. I had to take notes. There's so much about her. Over 20 years as a dance educator. She's a graduate of Alvin Ailey Fordham program in New York City. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in International Business from the University of Central Florida. We'll let her pass on that one because this is a wildcat land.
This is nice. So nice.
She trained at Palm Beach Ballet Center in Palm Beach, Florida. She attended A.W. Dreyfus School of the Arts in West Palm Beach as a dance major. And in 2016, Jere opened her very own studio, Inez Patricia School of Dance. She's the owner and founder. And since then, she has reached over 500 students. And a lot of these students go on to graduate and be accepted into professional dance companies and collegiate dance programs. Give it up for boss lady Jere James. Thank you for being here and gracing the Boss Ladies Podcast.
And thank you for having me. It's such an honor. I'm so honored to be here.
How are you doing this morning?
I am well. We're on spring break, so it's nice to wake up a little late this morning.
Sleep in a little bit.
And then come to the Boss Lady Podcast.
Welcome to the studio. Well, tell our viewers, tell the other boss ladies out there a little about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Well, I am Jere James. I am the artistic director and owner of Inez Patricia School of Dance, which is a household name here in Central Florida. I teach my beautiful babies from age 2 to and beyond all things dance, all genres of dance. And that's me in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. So what type of dance do you specialize in? I know you do everything, but what do you specialize in?
I specialize in a contemporary ballet. We call it urban ballet. Okay. And the Horton technique, which is what I learned at Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, which is a specific style of modern dance.
Wow. Beautiful. Okay. Tell us, how did you come up with the name Inez Patricia School of Dance?
Inez Patricia is my mother, who is deceased. She passed away from breast cancer 18 years ago, so I wanted to pay legacy and pay homage to her. She got me into dance when I was very little. So I still wanted to continue her legacy, even though she wasn't with us here in the natural. She is definitely with us in the spirit.
Awesome. Miss Inez Patricia. We love it because a lot of times we have loss and we want to, keep them with us. Absolutely. And what a beautiful way to pay homage to Mom. Yes.
It's because of her I am who I am today. So.
And I have to bring up another person because Jere is a family woman.
I am.
Tell me about your brother. I'm not going to say his name. You say him.
My little brother, his name is Patricia James. He is my absolute heartbeat. We've been on this journey together since he just turned 36. So we've been on this journey together. We lost our mom when he was 18. I was 23. So it's just been him and I rocking and rolling for these past 18 years. And he, like I said, he is my world.
And y'all take care of each other.
We do, absolutely. Beautiful. I don't play about him at all, and he doesn't play about me.
I saw the post on Facebook.
Not even a little bit, so.
I saw the post. And also, when we were at the studio, he has his own parking space with his name on it.
He does. Because he was like, even though I don't dance, but he does. He's a fabulous hip-hop dancer, but he's retired.
Oh, he's at 36?
He's retired, but he was like, it's my mama, too, so I need my own parking space in the building, too. So, yes, he has his own specific Parking space.
And tell us a little bit more about the parking spaces, because he's not the only one that has it.
Yes. So my babies who have been with me since they were little, they wanted to paint their own parking space. So my 3 older beautiful babies have their own parking spot as well. So they are VIP with me and my brother as well.
They are so cute. You should stop by the studio and look at them. I wanted to ask you a question about the influence that your mother and your brother, your family, had on you as far as dancing, leading, because it takes a lot to run a dance studio, and you're doing it alone. What did they give you? What did family give you?
To never give up, perseverance, to always reach for your personal goal.
Love it.
Always. My mother was a school psychologist, so she's very extreme. She loved kids, so I think I got my love from kids from her.
Yes, I see it.
And then just always, having something of your own.
You hear that?
I've always, when I was little, I was like, I think I want to open up a studio, maybe, kind of, sort of. But it kept tugging at me as I was working with other, dance organizations. Right. I was like, I think I can do this on my own. I love what I do. Everyone knows. They know who Jere is. They know I eat, breathe, sleep, cry, tears, dance. So I just knew this was going to be my end all. And I kept them as my focal point.
Beautiful. Love, family love. If you have family that supports you, love on them. Stick together, help each other reach these goals. So she is so right about her students, her babies.
My babies.
Because neither one of us have any that we birthed.
Right.
But when we were at the studio, listen, let me tell you, every child that came in and their parents, every child came and kissed her on the cheek, gave her a hug, and every parent sat there for a minute and just talked. What is that like? What are you giving to these teachers? Or not teachers, the parents and the students. They love you. I saw it.
It's second home is family. That's why, I call them my babies because I really believe they are mine. As soon as they walk in the door, they're part of our family. Beautiful. So I'm big about family and just cultivating love. And it's competitive, but it's friendly competition with the kids. But your competition should be the person that you're looking at in the mirror. That's who you should be always in competition with, not your fellow dance sisters or, dance brothers. It should be that constant fighting, going up between you and that mirror. Pushing yourself. That's absolutely.
Right. That's right. So there was, I'm gonna lean on this a little bit more because I was just amazed of how many women, mothers, love you as well. All right, because you get a lot of times, what I don't like this, but every woman that came in sat there for at least 15, 20 minutes. And then there was a father outside the window and you all were doing sign language and he knew what you were saying. How did you foster that relationship with the parents?
I think because they saw the reaction and the feeling that the kids have with me and I have with them. So I really think they felt comfortable being like, okay, she has no ill intent or will towards my kids. She really does love my kids. And they call me, the parents call me, can you please talk to my child because they're not doing their X, Y, and Z, or they're in trouble at school, or their grades aren't together.
They're calling you.
So I'm auntie, godmother, second mom, dance teacher, disciplinarian, all things.
All things.
All things.
And when you just said that, you were smiling. You didn't say, I'm this. You're like, I'm the mom.
Absolutely.
And listen, you all want to check out Inez Patricia School of Dance. Contact Jere. If you have little ones, you have big ones. If you're an adult, because I'm going to be talking to her as well about something for myself. All right. You graduated from the University of Central Florida. We forgive you. But you got a degree in international business, but you opened a dance studio. Come on, explain that. Yeah, how does that work?
My parents are huge on education. My father's a doctor, and of course, my mother was a psychologist. So they were like, I was like, Daddy, I'm going to dance. And he was like, what? This is for fun. And I was like, no, I want to dance for real. And he was like, no. So I went to UCF, and I was like, backstory. I got into fabulous mini arts institutions right out of high school. And I was like, I'm going to go to the one school that doesn't have a dance program. And my mom was like, I don't care where you go. You're just going to school.
You're going to school.
So I was absolutely miserable for the 4 years I was at UCF. Yes, I mean, I had a great time. Don't get me wrong.
As a student.
I had student life was great time. However, I was missing who I was meant to be.
You're like dead on the inside.
And I got my degree and I was like, here you go, Daddy. Now leave me alone.
Oh,
I love you. But now I'm going to go dance.
And what did Dad say?
He was like, what could he say? I guess. But as I was opening up my studio, 15 years later, he was like, so you really did this. He's like, I understand, this makes sense. I'm like,
Yes.
well, it was your investment, sir. You and mommy's investment into what I love to do has made a road and a path for me to be who I am.
Who you are.
And to be authentically who I am.
Exactly. And you get to teach other young people to do the same. I love this. Are you all enjoying yourself? Because, listen, again, I always wanted to be a dancer, and I never did it. So talking with Jere is like so exciting. All right. So when you opened your studio, talk about maintaining your authenticity as Jere the dancer since you were 4 years old. What do you bring to the studio aspect of it? What are you teaching?
I pride myself in preserving the true technique of dance.
Okay.
So my kids are classically trained in all genres of dance. So they have
all of them.
ballet, they have their jazz, they have their modern, they have their contemporary, they have their performance development, improvisations. I believe that's very important. So you're not just a cookie cutter dancer. You're able to, if your choreographer says, I need you to move, give me 16 counts of your own. It's not just tricks. They have a movement vocabulary.
Wow.
So they're able to pull from steps and not just be, let me do a cartwheel, let me do a kick. Like, no, it's a seamless choreography that comes from the heart.
From the heart.
So I'm training my students to be artists, not just movers.
Ooh, artists.
Artists, yes.
Yes,
So they're
I love
well-rounded. So they be able to do anything. Like I said, I have them who want to go collegiately, and I have some that want to be professional, or some that don't want to dance at all, but they still have their life skills of what dance has taught them. And I think that's very important.
That's very important.
It's life lessons and life skills. That's what dance is.
So you give them 3 roads to take. Listen, get your students, get your children into this program. Okay. I want to talk about resilience in business. You're a boss lady. You have this studio. Share a time with us when things got super hard and you were like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Oh, there have been many, many times.
What was the
I think
worst
to myself,
time?
I'm like, why did I do this? Like, I was content working for somebody else, getting consistent paycheck, being able to eat. It's a huge sacrifice. I go without to make sure that my studio still runs.
Gotcha.
And it's not a sob story. It just needs to be done. It's
Right.
just something that you just do because I believe in my kids. I believe in my school. I believe this is my mother's name.
That's right.
So I always have to think of that. Where if I want to give up or I don't want to do it anymore, I still have to get them and be like, I'm still maintaining and keeping her legacy alive. And she would not play with me.
I was about to say, because mom would.
She wouldn't.
That's all she.
At all. She was not playing with me. She
Get
had her
it done.
glasses and she would pull them down to the bottom of her nose and be looking at me. And I'd be like, oh, I'm in trouble. And I still see her face, but I know I'm not on the right path, or I'm being lazy or complacent. I still see her face like, okay, Jere,
Get it done.
get it together.
Because you can do it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I gave you everything that you needed to do, even though I'm not here, in the
Right.
physical realm. I gave you all the tools that you needed to be successful. Do I listen to him all the time? No. Hard-headed?
Who does?
Yes. But I still hear her voice like, no, that's
And
not
that's
right. Or
what keeps
yes,
you
you can
going.
do this. Absolutely. She's
Mom's
my driving
voice.
force.
And Cottrell?
And control, and my grandmother too. My dad too. Like, I love my whole family. But after my mom passed, my grandmother kind of stepped in and raised us. So between them two, and I hear, stop all that crying, girl, and do what you need to do. Okay, girl. All right.
Tough love from the women in our family,
But it's needed.
But it's needed, and
needed.
look where you are.
It shaped me. Yeah.
It made you better. It didn't stop you. It didn't stunt you. It didn't break your spirit.
No.
It made it stronger.
It did.
And that's what we have to remember, ladies, when mothers, aunties, guardians, grandmothers, we have to encourage and pour into one another, not drain the life out of one another. So how have friends and family, I already know about your family, but friends, how have your friends been a support? Do you get a lot of support from your friends? Okay.
They do support me. A lot of my friends I have met through the school. So a lot of my dance moms, we become family. So I call them like my little sister, my big sister, like Kidsy, or like I have my friend Sierra.
Yeah.
They're they're really my family. So I call them for any and everything. So my business has transcended into family friendship.
Love it. So dance brings or creates
So much
family.
Yes.
Wow.
It's such a huge family dynamic.
So-
So we get on each other's nerves.
Of course, like family
Like
does.
family.
Yeah.
We fuss and bicker and argue and fight, but at the end of the day, we come back and it's still love.
I love it. I
It's
love
still
it.
love.
So when you talk about those women, and it could be fathers too, do you all hang out outside of the studio? With okay,
I have to be, selective, and keeping my boundaries, because as being a business owner, some people like to take more, and like some people like to give more.
Right.
So I have to just be very cautious of my surroundings and who I have in my circle.
Okay.
But those who I have in my circle are solid.
Solid.
And I love them to death. Love
Yes.
them to life.
I love that. Love them to life.
I love them to life.
I'm going back to these students. Because you told me something when we were at your studio that they recently did for you. Your students came together. Because she is such an awesome woman, person, friend, mother, auntie, guardian. Tell the viewers what your students did for you.
So every Christmas, every end of the season in June, they always come together and get me some kind of gift, just to show their appreciation and their love for me. And I'm always like, no, it's fine. But they always want to pour into me. So this past Christmas, my older kids got me a cruise for Christmas. So it was really sweet. Okay. I was shocked, but it was really sweet.
Yeah, I was shocked. You said her baby sent her on a cruise
for Christmas. They were like, you work so hard and you give so much to us. We wanted to just, love on you and give you, a couple of days of relaxation.
How was it?
It was amazing. I had a great time. The Bahamas was lovely.
I saw the pictures.
Yes,
I saw the pictures. So as a woman in business world, as a woman, do you face hurdles that you probably don't otherwise get in other places? Like when people know you're the owner of a dance studio, do you have to face any hurdles when you meet?
It's not really a man versus a woman thing. It's a color.
Oh, talk about it.
It's a brown versus Caucasian kind of thing.
Okay.
Or, are you the hip hop teacher?
Oh.
No, not really.
Stereotype.
Very much so.
Okay.
Because I have a very eclectic, unique look.
Yes.
They see me and they're like, oh, okay, you're the hip hop teacher. I'm like, no. Because I would just sit in the lobby. When you came, I sit in the lobby. I don't sit behind the desk.
Nope.
My legs are crossed. I have my hair on top of my head in a bun, flip-flops on, with my leg in the chair, greeting everybody.
You're being
so
normal.
they don't see, the owner, or are you...
Oh, so in their mind, the owner should act and look a certain
kind of
way.
But I'm just,
You're Jeres.
I'm just sitting in the chair, hanging out with, anybody, and speaking to any and everybody that comes in. And kind of, standing off a little bit, because I like to kind of watch and observe who comes in and who comes out. And then my office manager, she's, phenomenal. She'll go ahead and, introduce and, talk about the school. And she'll be like, oh, and this is the owner. And they're like, oh,
you're the owner.
Like, yeah. Hey. I don't know what that looks like being an owner, but...
And that shocks me, because dance is artistry.
Right.
And it's a way to express yourself.
I agree.
Right? With your hair, your makeup, your jewelry, your tattoos, whatever you want to do. That's the purpose of it. Guess what? It's her shop. It's her dance studio.
It's me.
And she knows all things dance. What type of advice would you tell a young person and an older person who says, you know what, I want to do what she's doing? What would you tell them? Where would they start?
You have to really love what you do. Being a business owner is extremely hard. It's hard. Yes. So you have to really, really, truly love what you do, because there are going to be some times where you're going to be like, why am I doing this? The why has to matter. Your why has to make sense. Your why has to push you.
Okay.
Because if it doesn't, you will fold. It'll be like, it's too much, because you're dealing with so many personalities.
Yes.
You're dealing with... kids who are very temperamental. Sometimes they want to dance, sometimes they don't want to dance.
Right.
Sometimes, the little ones want to cry and not be, engaging. But the parents are still expecting a product because they're paying for a service.
Exactly.
So regardless of the interpersonal, reactions that I have with the student, they want to see a product.
They want to see their
In
product.
December and in June. They want to see a show in December, and they want to see what their kids have learned in June. So it's my job and my instructor's job to fulfill their expectations. So regardless of, your why has to make sense when you're opening up a business. Like, your why has to be your driving force. Because if not, it'll eat you alive.
Yep, can't be just about money. You gotta
it's
love.
It's definitely not about the
it's
money.
It's not about the money. You have to love what you do.
Absolutely love what you do. Because if you don't,
Ooh.
You will be like, you know, it's okay. I'll go work for somebody else.
And we don't want to do that.
And
That's why
no.
we bossing. We're boss
No, not at
ladies.
all.
No. So I don't know how intricate it is, but can you walk someone through, okay, I'm going to open up a dance studio and I'm going to let someone else run it. What does that process look like?
See, I went in thinking, you get a building, you bring your kids, and let's rock and roll.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought too, almost 10 years ago. It was a journey. My kids, I left the organization because I was like, I think I want to do this on my own. So I'm like, okay, let's go. Find a building.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I found a building. Oh, we want $40,000.
Oh.
What? All right.
Yeah.
You want 40 grand.
40,000.
You want first, last, and security. Okay. Did that. Make sure your building is zoned correctly. Didn't know anything about zoning.
Permitting and zoning.
Permitting and zoning is real.
Yes,
that
it
took me
is.
9 months. I had my building for 9 months with nobody in it because it took me 9 months to open up my school.
That's a long time.
So I did give birth. My child is Inez Patricia James.
That's right.
Because I went through the growing pains of my child.
Yes.
The morning sickness.
carried it.
I was all things with a big old building inside of me.
Whoa.
Baby.
So how long how long was the process?
9 months.
Literally?
Literally 9 months.
Wow. Okay. So don't be discouraged. That's not
Please
long.
don't.
That is not long.
Keep
It's a
pushing.
process.
It's a process. And I learned a lot. But I went in so naive thinking, all you need is a building and some kids and you can make and some mirrors.
That's
No,
what I
you
would've
have to have, it's so many intricate details that I didn't know about. Being
Right.
just ignorant, thinking a building and students are going to make it work. So that, just doing your due diligence and your research on what it takes to find a commercial piece of property.
Gotcha. Because just because you know dance the way
Doesn't
you know
mean anything.
Gotcha.
And just because you know business, I didn't learn about permitting and zoning
in college.
at all. So I would definitely have a mentor or someone who has been in the industry to kind of guide you or help you through the hurdles that you're getting ready to experience. That would be my thing, is to have your mentor and do your research.
Do your research.
Your research is, I think, the most important thing, is just doing your research about what you really want to do.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you about 2 women
Okay.
that inspire you and who you want to highlight next on the Boss Ladies, and why. Who are they and why?
Of course, my good friend, we've been friends since before she was famous, from college at UCF. Miss Erica Dunlap, who is our 2004 Miss America.
That's right.
She's our forever Miss America here in Central Florida, and she's doing a lot of phenomenal things in the community beside her platform. She used her platform, Miss America, and catapulted it to do so many other amazing things.
Okay.
She serves on so many different boards. She helps with, the underprivileged youth.
Nice. And she's in communications.
And the name of her company is Crown Communications.
on communications.
So,
I'll
yes.
be reaching out, Miss Dunlap.
Please do. And then another boss lady that I recently just met, her name is Nakia Nunn Parks.
Okay.
Her hashtag is the spiritual savage.
Okay.
So she, even though I've known her only for a short amount of time, she has really inspired me to push,
All right.
because she's doing some great things
Okay.
in her aspect of her life.
Aspect. Well, I'll be looking out for her as
Yes.
well. Do you have any advice for the viewers? What would you leave them with? Like, they're watching this, we're at the end, they want more Jere, but we have to go. What are you leaving them with?
Never give up on your dreams. Always push, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you don't see the light at the end of your tunnel. Always push, because regardless, God is never going to give you anything on your heart, your mind, or your spirit that you can't accomplish. So just always continue to just push and go for your goal. Never stop.
I was gonna it just popped back in my head at your studio that day. You were telling me how you left that job, and you were speaking to the director at the time, and you said the Lord just told you to share with the people, because they have to hear this. They have to hear this.
So I was going through my, end of the year, review. And the director was like, Trey, I think, you need to work on some managerial components that'll help you. And I think you need some more training. And I was like, okay. And before I know it, it was like fire inside of me and was like, I'm here to open my own studio. I was like, what?
Where that came from?
I don't have any money saved for any studio. Okay. I've been with this, organization for 10 years. Mm-hmm. I'm going to open up. I had nothing.
Nothing.
I had a business plan from college, of course, but I was like, what? And as I'm looking at him and they're looking at me and I'm like, what did I just say? Because I'm screwed because they're going to fire me because I said, I'm leaving. Yeah. And I have absolutely nothing. Mm. But I felt like that was just God being like, okay, it's time. I'm going to make you uncomfortable.
That's what you said that day. That's what I wanted y'all to hear.
Extremely uncomfortable in what brought you so much joy. Because it's time. I'm pushing you out of the nest. You gotta go because you're not leaving on your own. Mm-mm. So I'm gonna kick you out.
That's right. And I'm walking.
Oh my God, I can't fly. But I've been flying. He got me. He's had me for 10 years. But baby, I was like, "What, Jere? You're a fool. Who told you to say that? Like what?" And I'm like, "All right." And they're looking at me like, "Really?" And I was like, "No, you have a space." And I was like, "No, but I'm gonna have a space, and I'm gonna open up a studio, and this is what I'm gonna do." And they were like, "Okay, Jere."
And you did it.
Look,
and you're doing
it. God did it.
Yes,
Almost 10 years later, I'm still here. Inez Patricia School of Dance is a household name. And we've done a lot of amazing projects in the community. And, I'm ready to, expand and be a household name throughout the world.
That's right. And it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Yes. Anything for me before we go? Okay. Absolutely. Good.
Yes. Tell me about you. Like, how did you start the Boss Lady podcast?
Ooh.
Come on.
Okay. So, we've been doing productions for at least 20 years. Nice. We were with an organization for the last 10, 12 years doing the same thing. And it was time to go. Same thing. Mm-hmm. God was like, no, it's let go and move on. Yep. You're too comfortable here. Right? Money was good, living was good, but we were unsettled. We were really unsettled. Right. And it was time to go. So when we opened the studio, my husband, who's been with me 20 years, said, it's time for you to do you. You've always been a girl's girl. I know the background you came from, but God has given you women to help you through this life. So why don't you start doing for them what you always wanted to do? And hence, we have the Boss Ladies podcast because I've been bossing since I was 15. I've been taking care of me. So why not highlight other women such as yourself?
Thank you. Thank you for being open to do this.
Yes, and we want to have her back, and I'm going to go to a couple of shows. She has a show coming up in June. Make sure we're going to follow that. Thank you so much. Again, I wish you all were in here. Her vibe, the energy is so peaceful. And what you see is what you get. Her energy is that catchy. So thank you for being so much for on the Boss Ladies podcast. And I hope to see you again.
You will.
Until next time, remember, you can do whatever you want, ladies, as long as you keep moving. Later.
No time for insecurity. No time. We're chasing dreams, creating legacies. Boss Ladies podcast where we speak our truth. Yeah. Boss Ladies unite, we're reaching for